This is Sneaker Years. My name is Levi, and today I am happy to bring you the final full performance review and comparison on this beast, the Kobe AD NXT FF. Alright, so this is the full review. I already had a tech breakdown and kind of an intro, and this is also going to be a comparison. So one of the top shoes I want to compare this to is going to be kind of the godfather and what most people think is the best Kobe of all time, and that's the Kobe 9. And I have both the high and the low, so we can kind of give a breakdown and let you guys know the differences. Now, Kobe's had some really good shoes over the years, with the Kobe 6 being amazing, the Kobe 8 is awesome as well, and even the Kobe 11, and we can have a whole argument, but the Kobe 9s are what most consider going to be kind of the go-to, and the special thing about the Kobe 9 was the ability to use the LeBron 11 midsole. This midsole has been a go-to of mine with the Kobe 9 series for a long time. Now, when you think about it, the Kobe 9 was a $225 and then $200 shoe with the highs and lows, and the LeBron 11 was a $200 shoe. So to get this combo wasn't cheap, and honestly I don't know if I can say it's worth it, but possibly, considering you're getting the best of the best in pretty much most shoes any made. Even today's standards, 6 years later, the Kobe 9 is still incredibly competitive, upwards of whatever is offered nowadays. And that's until the Kobe FF, and hopefully that gives you a preview on how good it is. That being said, I know in the last video you guys said, hey, can you compare it to something more current? So to bring that into snuff, one, we have the Kobe 360, kind of sneaking its way back there. And again, that was a shoe that wasn't wildly popular, how it fit and different aspects of it, and I understand. But also, I wanted to give it a fair comparison back here to the KD12, with the KD12 being honestly in very high regard as being one of the shoes of the year, and certain colorways with releases have been available for less than $100. So it's something you're currently able to hopefully more easily afford, as well as very easily can try on. So the KD12 is something I'm going to be comparing that as well, so we have a very thorough comparison. Now, if you don't want to stick around for the full video, and I apologize if it's going to be long, let's just say the Kobe FF is in the running for one of the best Kobe's ever. It is in the runnings for a top shoe of the year in certain regards, and overall it is quintessentially Kobe. I have loved it, and after wearing it for multiple days, many hours, it has just gotten better. So I'm glad I was able to give it a full work down and do a full breakdown. But if you just want the short breakdown, this is an awesome shoe, and I would say, for lack of a better term, it is worth the $200. And though I can't really say that's worth your hard-earned money, you decide what you want to do with it. It is a far cry from the $200 we're getting on the LeBron 17, and I'll have a top 5 facts on that coming out very shortly. But this right here is a winner. So as always, let's start with the most important aspect of a shoe: the fit. All right, the fit of a shoe is quintessentially the most important part of it. The Kobe 9 is one of the best fitting shoes I've ever worn. I have, I think, 6 pairs of size 12s, and I got 1 pair of size 13s, and the 12s fit me like a glove. This was a shoe that I think for most people, it worked. The Flyknit, even though it was plastic back, and even though it is a little bit more firm, somehow molded to your foot very well. Whether you had a narrow foot or a wide foot, it was just awesome. Now, the Kobe FF went about it in a different way. As opposed to using Flyknit, as opposed to kind of restructuring it, it is using an incredibly almost flimsy upper. This thing is just light, it's very stretchy, but the kind of piece de resistance is that quad fit material. You can kind of see that netting right behind here. This is the magic that makes the Adapt BB so amazing at giving you just a custom one-to-one fit. And this really is the baby brother to the Adapt BB for almost half the price. As opposed to having an electronic motor, you're getting a manual with the FF system, and you're still getting that Adapt or quad fit upper on that side, at least on the lateral, not the medial side. And I love the materials they used on this. So as far as the fit, this is probably the most wide foot friendly Kobe they have ever done. You can really just tell the way it flares out here. You have a wide toe box, you have materials that really stretch to your foot, but there's going to be 2 caveats. One, let's see if we can get a look here, the instep right here. Now this is stretchy, this should work, and it's low enough in the shoe that I think most players are going to be fine with. But if you have a very high instep, you might have issues. Also, if you have a narrow foot, this is just a voluminous toe box. Now, I can also say the Adapt Fit or the Fast Fit system works really well. So even if you have a narrow foot, I think it's going to torque down just fine. As far as how the system works, this really had taken a cue from the Adapt BB as far as how the laces come up. It locks you back into the heel, kind of pulling you back in, and that Velcro strap is really just making it even more secure, where you really have this full foam around your heel, a nice solid structure in the heel area. The fit, at least from my foot, being a wide footer, it is amazing. Now, I did do a size 13. I probably could have done a 12.5, to be completely frank, and that's a half size up. You're saying, well, I thought it was wide foot friendly. Well, I have a moderately high instep, and that half size is what allows me to get comfortable with this kind of misstep. So if you have a legitimately high instep, that's going to be your only issue. Going to a 13, I do have a little bit extra length here, but that Fast Fit system locks me in. I have no issues. If I'm getting a second pair, which is definitely a possibility, I would try to get a 12.5. So if you don't have a high instep, I believe you can go true to size as well, even if you're a wide footer. And if you are a narrow footer, just be aware, even though this is kind of voluminous, that Fast Fit system really does torque you in. You're not going to have any issues. Now, as far as the support, that's another area where this Kobe has a lot in common with your Kobe 9. You can kind of tell the last there is very similar, where it's just kind of a nice wide base. You can see kind of have a natural outriggers right on the sides here, where you're really going to step hard for either step backs, crossovers, or whatever you're doing. The support on this was augmented with that kind of carbon fiber clip right here in the toe area. There it is. As well as some beefy carbon fiber heel clips. And then just the materials, this is quite a bit heavier. Now this feels about the same way, but that's because I don't have the midsole in there. This is accomplishing very similar feats with that quad fit, having a heel clip where you have that a lot of stability, having a very structured heel, and having that nice flat wide base, which was a huge difference when we got in the 360. The 360 was lamented by a lot of players for just being very rounded. You can tell here, it's really natural. This feels almost like an extension of your foot. Now that's good and bad, just because this thing is very easily to go around. You can just tell how it's a rounded heel, rounded edges. This thing was not the most supportive, although I think it still was impressive for how light it is and for what it is. It didn't help that it had a really mushy cushion system that still allowed you to play quick, but definitely was nowhere near the balance and the supportive nature we got from the FF. The cushion with the added cushion on, and we'll get to that later with the React, just give you a much better balanced ride, as well as that Fast Fit system with the motor here, and you can kind of see it right here. It does give it a lot more structural rigidity than what we got on the FF. Now, the most immediate comparison is going to be your KD12. This uses the quad axial flywire versus the quad fit upper. So really they're doing the same thing. You're getting a lightweight upper that is both giving you a ton of lateral containment. The fit, you can just, I don't know if you can even tell right here, you're getting a much wider toe box out of here, much more forgiving fit, versus this, if you have a wide toe box here, these teeth get in the way, and even if you have a wide midfoot like myself, this is still just a much more narrow fit. It doesn't make it bad. I can still play in this, and I still think it's incredible. And the same thing like this guy, this has a lot more structured in the heel, so you have a lot of padding back here. This, you don't have any issues with a high instep. So really two different limiting factors here. This is going to be a little bit more narrow. This is going to be wider, but this has an issue with the instep. Stability wise and support, this is going to be a little bit more stable because of that flat wide base, whereas this is a little bit more rounded. You feel a little bit more shifty in this. This is going to be a little bit more stable. That quad fit upper is going to give you very similar lockdown overall, the Fast Fit system and just regular laces, and very similar lateral containment. So if you played in the KD12, the support and the containment are going to be very similar. So if you're you're looking for more, you're not getting out of here, but you're going to be very comparable. All right, the cushion is where the magic happens. React midsole that was combined with Lunar was something that was a very max cushion setup from last year. This is something that was borderline too cushy, very plush, and in playing them side by side, this was much softer. Now I could feel this bottom out just a little bit in a good way, so even though it's soft, when you push it off, you can still feel the court and be explosive. So this didn't really slow you down, but depending how heavy you were, some players did find it kind of mushy, as well as a lot of the structure was built into the cushion here. You can see kind of that shank plate, as well as these plastic clips here. But at the end of the day, this is still very soft. You didn't get nearly the structural support you did on the FF. Now, as far as the Kobe 9 and using the LeBron midsole, this was a full Lunar upper, similar there, but with a full length zoom. Now, what's nice about this is as you played in it, the Lunar would mold to your foot, you would lose a lot of that plushness, and you would still start to feel more of the zoom. So it played a lot closer to the court with a little bit of bounce. What's used in this is one of the best balanced cushions I have ever used in my life. I literally have hundreds of pairs of sneakers. You guys have seen my channel. I have hundreds of reviews. This is right down the middle, and I found it incredibly interesting. When I said that in one of my first Instagram posts, I had a player who was a little bit larger, 300 plus pounds, telling me, hey, this doesn't have enough cushion, it's not balanced. And I had a player who was less than 150 say, this is too much cushion, this is way too comfortable. And I'm like, yeah, you guys are both confirming what I'm saying. It is right down the middle. At 240 pounds myself, I find I'm a kind of a balance where I can understand the big guy's point of view, but I am quick and shifty like a lot of the little guys. But I'm not going to deny I'm a bigger guy. I need the cushion. So when I'm playing something that's going to be more court-based feel, I do want something that still absorbs the impact, but doesn't make me feel slow, doesn't have any hesitation. The React is giving you that nice soft impact protection with that React more in the heel and kind of coming through. And the cushion sensation is very similar to what we're getting on the KD12 with that zoom on top and that double stack zoom in the heel. So the heel impact protection is very similar. What changes is as you go through the forefoot and midfoot, and you can't take it out, and you can kind of see the color change here, you do feel the Cushlon start to kind of take over. Cushlon absorbs impact incredibly well, but there is no bounce back, and it is somewhat firm. So it's great for court feel, where you can land, you can push, you're not going to get any impact shock coming through your legs, but it does allow you to play however you want. That's why the Kyrie 4 was such an amazing success. Supposedly Cushlon is used in the Adapt BB, but I think it is a different compound. And to give you guys a comparison to this is going to give you about 30% more bounce. This is definitely, it has zoom air. It's right under your foot. But the impact protection is about the same on landing. This is just going to be a little bit more balanced where you're not as bouncy, but you still feel quick and you're still getting a lot of the impact protection. Now, as far as compared to the Kobe 9, these two play very similar, with the edge going to the Kobe FF. I played in the shoes multiple times. I compared this to the Jordan 33 SE, compared it to the Kobe 9, and one of the last runs I did was with the Kobe 9, because this is a hallmark shoe. Like, this is a standard even by today, 6 years later. And the cushion, even with the LeBron cushion in there, I still preferred the cushion system in this over what is really considered a $400 combination when you look at getting a LeBron 11 and getting a Kobe 9. So that's another aspect where even though this is $200, it is just fantastic. Finally, the second most important aspect of a shoe, outside of a fit, is the traction. Now, the traction on this guy is finally, I think, a mature evolution of what we initially got on the Kobe 10, where you have kind of these nubs. And they've evolved that over the years from the Kobe 10 to the 11. This uses the nubs in combination with a fin. So the first time I used it, it was good. It wasn't crazy, and that was against the Kobe 360. And the Kobe 360, it was close. Maybe the 360 was a little bit better. Second time I went out, I believe I used it against the Jordan 33 SE. That is one of the best tractions you can buy, and the 33 SE was just a little bit better. Like, I was shocked. Like, okay, this isn't this is hanging in there. Now, I wanted to play on dirtier courts, so taking this out, I was comparing this while also bringing out the Why Not 2, which has been, for all intents and purposes, my shoe of the year, as well as against the KD12. And on a dirty court, and on my third wear, we're getting a few more hours in, this started to show itself to be a little better, and that's high regards. Played in it a few more times as it broke in, and the traction just kept getting better, with my last wear going at it with the Kobe 9. I don't need to say it. If you haven't played in the Kobe 9, one of the hallmark features about this shoe is the traction. It is unbelievable. It just works. It doesn't last that long, but it's also one of those, for me, it's lasted a long time because I review so many shoes and I have multiple pairs I cycle through, with kind of my yellow inspiration and my red, University Red low tops being the two pairs I really cycle through, change the cushioning and go through it. This, on that specific court, because obviously different court, different conditions are going to change, wearing these shoes side by side, wearing the Kobe 9s on their own, wearing the Kobe Fs on their own, this had a little bit better cushioning, guys. Now that was after, I would say, probably 12 hours of break-in at that point, so I finally finished it off with close to 14 hours of testing. This traction did not let me down. Now, it is much more firm than recent years, the last 2-3 Kobe's. So this is definitely going to last you an indoor court session, but it's still, you guys can hear that, soft enough. I don't think this is going to last outdoors. I know a lot of my subscribers and a lot of you guys asked, is this good for an outdoor court? And unfortunately, I'm going to have to say, not really. You're going to rub these down pretty quickly. And just to highlight the fact, the durability, my Kobe 360s, while testing against this, then one of the nubs did actually finally rub off, which a lot of the people have said, hey, they have had some of their nubs come off on them. Happened to mine. I wear them quite often. That's okay. It's not affecting performance terribly, but when you start to see it, you do feel bad when you have a shoe start to show that wear and tear. Overall, the traction has been amazing. So let's wrap this up. The Kobe FF is a $200 shoe that is really half the price we're getting on the Adapt BB, with better traction, better cushion, and a similar fit technique. So at that point, it's a great value. The cushion is probably one of the most balanced cushions you're going to get on the market, where it's doing a little bit of everything. It is not the most plush, it's not the most bouncy, it's not the most court feel. It is right down the middle, which is why I love it. The fit, at least for my foot, has been absolutely amazing. Now, obviously, there's going to be caveats in there. If you have a narrow foot or high instep, you may have some issues, which is why I don't know if this is going to be in the running for shoe of the year, because I want a fit that's going to accommodate more people's feet, and I can recommend to anybody. And one, the price at $200 is still expensive, and two, the fit and the materials are not going to be for every single kind of player. But hopefully I've went through how it's going to fit you and how it fits me, which is amazing. The traction has been outstanding. I'm gonna have to wear these for one of my final wears against the Jordan 34, just to give you guys an idea how good it is. This is, for me, my shoe of the year for court feel. Now, if you're gonna say, well, Levi, how can that be your court feel shoe of the year? You even said it's balanced, it's not court feel based. And you're right, but I'm also 240 pounds. If I'm testing a shoe that has a lot of court feel, that puts a lot more wear and tear on my knees and on my joints. Prior to today, and I brought these out, the Curry 6 is what I recommend for the best court feel shoe of the year. You can get this for less than $100. The Omni 1 is, again, a little bit better, and they will have a general release coming out soon. And I've had one commenter say, and hopefully it's true, they will be coming out in wide sizes, which will take care of one of the biggest aspects, the fitment. So if they can give me a wide and the fit is even better, that is an awesome shoe for court feel of the year. The reason I like this, at least today, is this is giving me the best fit. This is giving me equal, if not better, traction, and both those are amazing traction. And this is giving me just slightly more cushion while still allowing me to play very quickly. So I love this sneaker. This is definitely going to be in the top 5 by the end of the year. And although it's $200, it is definitely well more worth it than what you're getting on the LeBron 17. Guys, girls, all my ballers out there, hopefully that helps you in making your decision. This is an expensive purchase. I really did want to break it down for you. If I missed anything, please put it in the comments below. I do listen to you guys. Really appreciate the support. Please like this video, put a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the little bell down if you want to see when new videos are coming out. I still have a top 5 LeBron 17 facts coming out on my final Jordan 34 comparison with the KD12 as well, and the Why Not 2. So I'll be comparing all those in that video. And I got a few other videos lined up, but really open to whatever you guys want to see here, trying to put in the time and the work to give you the best content possible. As always, I really appreciate you guys. This is Levi with Sneaker Gears, and I'll come at you later.